Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. Today, we have another update out here from Vegas, World Series of Poker, episode number 2. Max, how are you doing today?
I am hanging in there, brother. I literally am just sitting here. I've been busy as hell with work and selling houses, which is awesome. But in 2 days from now, that will be left here in Minnesota while I get on a plane and head out to Vegas for the start of my series. Starting with the Monster Stack on Friday, and I am excited. I am very excited. I love the Monster Stack. I love the WSOP. I've been every night been watching all the streams, all the mixed games, all the no limits, all the hold'em, all that stuff. Just keeping up with everything going on, and I just love summer. Like it's just
Yeah.
like eating poker up all the time, and it's
What
exciting.
what
So
what's it like being in Minnesota in June? I haven't done that in 3
I
years
know.
now.
I will be honest with you. It's actually pretty nice. It's actually nice. Last year I was in Vegas all of June, so to be here this summer is nice because I love my golf. I've got to do a lot of that this summer, which has been great. Um, and then also just business, like real estate's been popping off, so I've been taking my time and getting things done around here. So, anyways, yeah, looking forward to being at the WSOP starting this weekend. I bought a one-way ticket, and we'll just see how things go.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes, sir.
Well, looking forward to having you out here. Hopefully, by the time you're here, I'll already have a bag in the monster stack.
Wes, I hope you do have a bag. And before we get into the monster stack, let's talk about some magic that happened earlier this week with you and the Colossus.
Yeah. So I made a deep run. We made a very deep run, especially if you look at the percentage of the field. So I got 69th place
Giggity.
in the $500 Colossus. Ironically, it was on 6/9,
Oh
June
yeah,
9th.
on June 9th. Oh man. Okay.
um, but yeah, so there were 16,301 entries, and I got 69th. So top 0.5% of the field. Now I
First day three
did,
of the summer, yeah.
yeah, only my fourth day 3 ever, in
Yep.
fact.
Day threes are actually pretty hard to make, believe it or
They
not.
they really are. They really are.
Probably the
Uh,
main is going to be your easiest day three to make, I would guess.
oh, it's got to be because you're not even at the start
In
of
the
day
money
3, you're
yet.
not
Yeah.
even that close to the money,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you can late reg 4 hours into day 2 as well. So,
Yeah, yeah. Yet I've only made one day three in the main, I think.
oh well,
I
you can
made a day
change
three in
that
the
this
monster
year.
stack the very first time. So in 2014, the year the monster stack came out, I think it was 2014. I did make day three of that, the
And
very
back
first
then it
one.
was like a stone freeze out too. You only had one bullet
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember, but yeah, it sounds right.
because that's how it was actually up until 21.
That was a
Or
cool
did,
experience because I was so green. You know what I mean? And like I played with
yeah,
Angry John Monet. Do you know who that is?
I actually don't. I know you've told me,
His
but
name's John Monet. He goes by Angry John Monet. He wasn't very angry when I played with him, but apparently he has that
apparently
nickname
he's an
for
angry guy.
he's an angry guy. Yeah, but I have very fond experiences. That was 11 years ago. Back when
That's
you
a
were
lot
in
of years ago. That
diapers.
was when I was in diapers. Yeah.
Yeah. But back to the story here. So you I mean, I'm really looking forward to this episode because you have some good content to go over in regards to week 2 of the WSOP. Do we want to start with that run, or where do you want to
Yeah.
start?
Let we'll start with actually quick. Let's just start with my results because we're doing updates on my, where I'm at in terms
Yep,
of my
and I'll
results.
do the same when I finally get to play.
Sounds good. So in terms of, let's start with online. Online tournaments, I am currently down a total of about 2,500. Um, Not terrible. I haven't played a ton, um, but obviously not what I wanted. In terms of online cash, however, I am at plus 6481, so about 6,500. So from online overall, I'm up about 4K.
Okay, so that's been keeping you afloat until you had your recent Colossus run.
Yep. And then in terms of live tournaments, drum roll, I am down $46. Um,
Yeah, okay. After your Colossus run, you're essentially break even. So you're up. 4-ish K in total over online and live.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, up about 4K. And yeah, I've after that I fired the 800 and then the 1100 MSPT
Hmm.
yesterday as we're recording.
Just
So
one bullet in that so far?
yeah, yesterday was the last flight.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
just the one bullet. Um, and then today as we're recording, I will play day 1A of the monster stack.
Can I pause you for a quick second? I'm gonna
Yeah.
pause you anyways. So, I want to give a big shout out to our boy Josh Reichard,
Yeah.
winner,
Oh
winner.
man.
I mean, does he just he just wins everything? It's actually crazy. He won the $1,600. I think it was the 1,600
Yep.
buy-in Heart Poker Championship MSPT. I think it's their first major or whatever. He won it for it was a $1,600 buy-in for I think it was like 200 and something thousand.
Yeah, it was just over 200,000. Anyway, I mean, great job to Josh.
Yeah, and that
That was
trophy was crazy, by the way. I'm
I
not.
know there was a lot of talk about the trophy.
It looks like not to down, to talk shit, but I'm gonna talk a little shit. The trophy looks cool, but it also looks kind of cheap. My thought. That's just my opinion. It looks kind of like like I don't know. It looks like a Nerf gun of a trophy. If that makes any sense, just looks plasticky
Yeah. No,
and
I know what you mean. I guess I didn't look at it long enough.
well, I drool over these things, so I'm one
That's
of those.
true.
I'm a collector of fine trophies, my friend.
Oh, good Lord.
Anyways,
You
let's
are though.
continue.
You are.
Let's continue.
Um, oh, and actually before we get into my run, so I was also on a day 2 of this $250 online mystery bounty. It was a bracelet event. And the WSOP, the site just crashed. WSOP.com just crashed.
I heard all the news about this. People were livid.
It was I s- I don't know if anyone knows what's happening. Like
Did
that
you
was
just
2
get
days ago.
ICM? Did they just chop it up the prize pool up ICM?
I don't know because like it, some people kept playing some, and then they have the bounties like before it. Someone won the 100K bounty before everything. You know what I
Are you
mean? Like
kidding me?
no, like someone.
I heard they canceled the tournament too.
I don't know what's going on, but they. I have yet to receive an email. Now, to be fair, like I busted pretty quickly. Like it wasn't.
Did you make the money or no?
I did not make the money. I also let me think. Yeah, like the only thing that was actually affected for me was I was in some like satellite to the monster stack, and then the site crashed for me, and so that was actually the tournament that was affected by it, not this bracelet event. But like, man, if they don't like come out with, and maybe they have now. I haven't looked this morning, but there's been nothing from them, and it's like honestly just terrible.
I mean,
Like,
that is very, very bad. I read at some, I mean, and this may be incorrect, but I read that the tournament ended up being canceled. I didn't read
mhm,
far into it. I just saw the headline, and so I've experienced this in the past with ACR. Back when I was playing pre-COVID,
yep,
their tournaments would crash all the time on day two, and then they would just ICM chop the remaining prize pool based on your stack size.
yeah,
Um, being
yeah,
that you're not in
and
the money, I don't know if that's how that works or not. But the fact that someone got a 100K bounty and then they canceled it, I mean, what the hell?
yeah, and they haven't even mentioned. It's like, yeah,
Also, a
there was
100K
that.
bounty for $250 buy-in. Sheesh.
Yeah, it was huge. And it's like also there's a $320 ring event going on. There was all these other daily tournament. They haven't
Did
said a
all
peep
those
about
run? I did everything
no, like
cancel.
the site just
The site stopped.
yeah,
Okay.
it was just
Okay.
down. Like I don't for some people, I don't know what was going on. So like I'm a bit discouraged in terms of
Playing online, probably.
playing online, especially on that. I mean, the Wi-Fi also sucks here. So online in general got to be careful, but
Yeah, you told me that before. I mean, our last episode, I lost you mid-recording and we had to edit
that's
and fix
right.
that.
Yeah.
But I I see a future where hopefully that is resolved by the, GG acquiring the WSOP. I would love to see them to implement their software then, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
WSOP did a huge software upgrade last year, I think it was.
Yep.
WSOP.com. I mean, now that GG owns WSOP, I think they purchased it last year. I think it was. Anyways, I think that should lead to some changes all across the board, including online, hopefully. But anyways,
Yep. I will say the app they have makes it so much easier. Like
A WSOP Plus app.
Yep.
So are
That
we not
actually is
waiting
a
in lines anymore? Is that kind of I
no lines.
that is so nice, man. That is so like if you're an alternate, does it put your alternate number on there or how does that work?
Yeah, there was one time I had to wait, and it was the last day one of the Mystery Millions, and I had 350 people in front of me, and it went, I got my seat within a half hour,
That's sick. I love
and
that.
it tells you how many alternates, like it counts down. It sends you a notification when it's close, and yeah, it's great. The one thing I wish they did, and I get because of tax forms, I get why you need to come in, but I wish they would be able to, when you cash something, just have a setting where you could have it automatically go to your account.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you don't have to go wait in the payout line.
That is the one line you have to do. Although you can do that at
Mhm.
any point. So like just find a strategic time where if
Late
here's
at
some
night
advice
usually. Yeah.
to the WSOP newbies. Here's some advice. If you cash an event, especially if you min cash an event or if
Like
it's
a
a really
herd
big
bird.
field,
Yeah.
don't collect your payout right away because there's going to be 100 people waiting in line to do
And you'll
just
wait
the
there for
same
an hour
thing.
plus. Yeah. Go do it at
Yeah.
nighttime. I
Yeah,
think
do
they're
it.
open 24/7. So
Yeah, either that or like there's 2 hour. I think it's 24/7. You're
yeah.
right.
But I remember I've gone there at like 2 or 3 a.m. and just cashed out
Yeah,
then.
just
Not
find a
that you
time.
guys are awake at that time, but I'm saying you can do it in the evening or whatever. But just don't do it
Yeah,
when there's when a big tournament's just entering the money because there's going to be a slew of bust outs and you're going to be waiting a long time.
exactly, exactly.
I think I could foresee a future where they have that because you have that, people have that WSOP app or whatever or excuse me, oh my God, I can't even think correctly, but it's the place where you can like deposit money into and then buy into accounts with it or whatever. They should be able
Hmm.
to, I could see it where you should be able to in the future just withdraw to that account instead of having to go wait in line.
Yep. Yeah.
But,
Anyway, speaking of big tournaments, let's get into some discussions.
yes,
We could talk some hands. I actually had a different idea though, just more like concepts and stuff.
I like it.
So I had three sort of ideas of just things to talk about, and we can sort of take it wherever. One is a strategy thing based off of specific hands, but the first one was one of the guys I'm rooming with. He and I were talking about making deep runs, navigating these huge fields, right? Because that's something I feel like I've been asked about.
You seem to be
I
pretty good at, navigating those absolutely insanely large fields.
Yeah, and so like my here's the thing, and it's could sound like a non-answer, but it's not. It's like I would say the most important thing to realize is like all you're doing in any tournament is playing against the table you're at, you know.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
whether there's 1,000 players left or 100 players left, like you've got the eight other people in that you're trying to get chips from, right? So like I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that like, oh, navigating these big fields is super different. But I will also say we my roommate and I talked about a bunch of stuff, and just sort of different play styles and stuff. And here, one thing I definitely realized, and you can give your input as well, but I find that I am very comfortable playing a short stack. And so I may lean more into the very patient survival mode where
Hmm.
it's like I'm going to wait for spots where I either pick up a big hand or where I can be the aggressor, right?
Okay.
And I'm not going to try and get my chips in and get gamble necessarily. Like there's spots I will say in the Colossus late on day 2 there was a spot under the gun +1 opened. I had ace jack suited directly to his left and I had 17 bigs and I actually ended up folding it.
Okay.
Which is like a really tight fold.
Yeah. 100%.
But my thought here was like, well, I don't think I'm in late enough position where I want to flat.
Yeah.
I don't. want to jam because I hate the range I get called by. I think actually like a min three bet type thing, like to four big blinds, is actually okay. But I actually don't. In theory, it's okay, but I actually think this guy won't make the folds that he should. Um,
I like your thought process here a lot. Like while it's such a big hand, and considering the position, what you think you're getting called by, and then
yeah,
the
and he had like
potential,
3x my stack at this point
and then
too.
also the yeah, well, that's also plays a role as well. He's going to be probably calling wider because of that.
Hmm.
And then also just your ability to find better spots at a table
Yeah,
where there's probably a ton of amateurs. Like here's the thing: is like maintaining your fold equity and then just finding spots where you're the opener or the
yep,
three bet jammer. I think are going to be much better for your survivability.
agreed, agreed. And like, yeah, it was a fold I would usually not be making, of
Yeah,
course. But yeah, just something. And I don't, maybe conviction play is one way to put it, but also it's
there
like
it is.
I went through every option in my head and I'm like, I don't like any of them, so I guess I'm gonna fold and just wait. Um,
I think that's what separates people, though. I think there's something to be said about being, what's a good word for this? Malleable. Is that like where you're like flexible and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you're not like water or something. You essentially, I don't know the Bruce Lee quote, however it goes, but essentially be like water, right? Like just, even though theory says slam dunk, but let's get this in. It's like you need to navigate to the information that you have in that moment, and obviously the information you had in that moment, you thought about all the options. You didn't just go into autopilot. You thought about it and you made it. And whether it was correct or not, who knows? But you went with what felt the best, and I think that's the best play.
yeah.
Did I just ramble there? Was that rambling? I don't know.
Oh, it's okay. I do that. The Yeah, and then everyone folded and the guy took down the blind. So I was like, dang, well I could have flatted, but whatever. Um
See, and I
the end
just want to mention, without getting stuck on this too long, to the people who are curious, the reason you were afraid of flatting in the first place is because you were in such an early position that there's so much room for people to squeeze behind you.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't want to be in those, you don't want to just have your chips out there as dead money
Yeah,
very often.
which you would be if you flatted most of the time. I mean, you can also flat that. Would you ever flat that spot with aces? Just curious on that stack.
Yeah. Again, like this is one where I actually probably would,
Hmm.
but in theory, it's too early position to just have any flats really.
Okay.
But
I
I
like
think
your
I
thought
would.
process, and again, conviction plays. We'll just title it that, and I think it's just going with, even if it's against the grain, going with what feels like the best move.
Yeah. And you know what I actually compared it to? Because I think we see the people, we just mentioned Josh Riker, but there are other players like that too, where it's like their style is like more foot on the gas type thing.
Yeah.
And I realized I'm like, maybe my style in that moment, for lack of a better comparison, is like more similar to Phil Hellmuth.
White
Like,
magic.
he's, and not to compare myself to him, I think he has 17 bracelets, but like he has this ability to navigate through these huge fields of amateurs, it seems like.
I think
And
that's a good relation that you made there. And people hate on him because it's so like theoretically incorrect what he's doing all the time, but like he just goes with what feels best for him.
mhm. And yeah, so it's like I don't know that there's like one way, or I should say there isn't a one style that you should just like play. There's not like an easy way to play the right style. And I don't really think, I think getting through these big fields is just like you have to trust yourself enough to make, in this case, what was a big fold. But there's also a time when like an earlier position opened and I three bet jammed sixes, and it was just a different spot. And granted, I ran into ace king and just won the flip, but
There you go.
um, yeah, just different spots where you have to find the balance between trusting yourself and also recognizing if you're being like too nitty or too aggressive, whatever it might be.
Yeah, well said.
And because you can also get stuck in this, I'd played this tournament for, actually, this is pretty funny because I fired 6 bullets over the 4 day ones. So
you,
day
you you
two,
you texted me and you're like, we might be breaking records tomorrow in relation to your amount of buy-ins put into one tournament.
yep, luckily I only tied it. 7 would have been a record. And so when I was finally on day two, this was my 5th day in a row playing in this tournament, which that already is a record
That's
for me.
exhausting. Holy crap. I mean, not many tournaments do you have opportunity to play, 5 flights. So
Right.
wait, there's 5 flights in that?
Four. Four flights.
Oh, a day two, you mean?
Yep.
I gotcha. I got you.
So there's also there's also a side of it that I had to recognize where I'm like, I've been playing this tournament 5 days in a row and I'm super deep on day two. Like over 16,000 entries and we're getting down to 300, 200 people left. And I'm like, I got to remind myself that like I can't be too attached to my tournament life right now because the big pay jumps won't start till day three. And
Good reminder.
yeah, so I had to do that where I'm like, getting to day three, if I just kind of cockroach my way in with a short stack, is not really the place I want to put myself in either. So
You said that you went on a tear end of day two. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
yeah, I
You
mean,
didn't really
really all
explain
it
much.
was this. It was a couple hands. So I had let's see, it was 2.2 million, 2.3 million at the 250K BB. So just over 9 bigs. I had ace 10 of diamonds in the small blind. Cutoff opens to 500K. I jammed.
Full
He
send.
actually
Yep.
folds.
Okay.
So
That's such a nice pickup.
yeah, I pick up a million in chips right there.
Yeah.
The very next hand, we get the low jack open, cutoff 3 bet to 1.3 million, and I have two queens, 3.3 million in chips, all in. He's kind of priced in at this point. I
Yep.
only have 13 bigs, so he has nines. We hold.
Love that. That's a great spot.
Yeah, that was a great one. And then
So
the last,
you're up to 7 million at this point or something.
yeah, a little over that. Um, a little bit over, close to 8 million.
Yep.
And then the next level, the 300K level, we opened Ace King of Clubs from low jack. The small blind flicks in. He calls the big blind. He didn't even see my raise.
Oh no, I hate when this stuff happens because there's reason. I mean, it sounds like it may benefit you here, but there's been so many times where they accidentally put chips in, then they all of a sudden commit themselves to the actual raise because they already put
Yeah,
chips in, and
I
then
was
you
like,
lose the
oh
hand to
man,
them.
this. I
Oh
hope this
god,
isn't how I bust.
yeah.
But
So
actually, I had him covered. But whatever. Big blind is this guy, older guy.
well, what was
Playing,
the action on the small blind? Did he just commit to the raise
so he
then?
called the
Of
600K now.
course, yeah, yeah.
Big blind shoves for like 4.5 million.
Oh, we love
I
that. You have ace king of clubs.
Yep, I reshove. So that dead 400 extra 450K in there
So
is just
nice.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
We're up against king queen off. Get the queen 10 7 1
Jack.
club. Oh,
Sorry if
just
that
the
was loud.
jack of clubs on the turn, and
Oh, I
I'm
felt it. Nice,
yeah,
nice. Wait, the jack of clubs. Did you have a royal draw?
I did. It
Oh
didn't
my.
really matter.
No, no, but it's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I didn't hit
um,
the royal, but he
wait, so
didn't hit it.
he was drawing to a chop on the turn then?
Yeah,
That's
on the
sick, dude.
river. Yeah.
On the river after the turn. Yeah. That is that's huge. Do you think that the small blind messing up there incentivized that squeeze from the big blind?
It certainly could have. And actually it's kind of a smart play because he's like, this was probably not that strong. This was probably not a hand that actually wanted to call the raise, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
And
I
King Queen 15 bigs is not like that's reasonable.
It's a good, here's my thought is like it's not a bad squeeze hand to a late position open and a misclick from the small blind with that expected dead money. I think the squeeze
Mhm.
is great, but for me it'd be player dependent opponent like on what your play style is from what position were you low jack you said or something?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just like knowing if you're a tight opponent or if you're loose aggressive, whatever. Listen to our player types episode. But I think that if he views you as as tight aggressive or loose aggressive, then the squeeze works better.
Yeah.
Anyways, but you end up having 13 million.
Yep.
Man,
I
13
bagged
million chips.
11.7 million. Oh, also listen to this. This is pretty funny too. So on day one when I bagged, I had 977K, which was a lot.
Didn't they
Which
put
was
you
a
at like
lot.
10 million or
They
something?
put me at they mistyped it at 9.77 million. So I was supposedly chip leading the whole tournament. Um,
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
yeah, it was funny. And you
They
can
did the
update your own
opposite.
stack, but they don't allow it. They don't allow you to update your stack in the middle of the days.
Oh, okay.
So that was annoying too. Anyways, the end of day two, I bagged 11.7 million.
Didn't they
And
say you bagged like 3 million or something?
yeah, they said 3.3, which is what I had going into the break before that. And I'm like, I actually tweeted out about it. I'm like, I tagged WSOP. I'm like, you literally reported my stack wrong by over 8 million chips on both
Both
days. Like
days.
that must be a literal record. I cannot, if anybody has
uh,
ever had your chip stack, that is what 160 starting stacks.
one on day.
They
I
they were
love it.
off by more than
I mean,
160.
thankfully, while that is annoying and maybe a little frustrating,
Yeah.
thankfully it doesn't actually affect the tournament
It
itself.
doesn't
So
affect anything.
yeah,
It was a little annoying, but
I mean,
it was
I
also
will give
just funny. And
props.
it's like,
I will give props to the people that are reporting and stuff. Obviously, there's mistakes that are going to be made. We're only human. AI will be coming shortly to remove us from everything we do. So let's appreciate these small mishaps while
yeah,
they're still
well, they're
available in
still
this world.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did the last dealer of day two for me was also just she didn't know what was going on. I was a little frustrated about that. Like my
Dealers
ace
still
king
having
king queen
troubles.
hand, she almost like threw my hand in the muck and
Oh,
it, I was like no, like ace high straight. You know,
yeah.
we had to count out all the all-ins. We had to
Are the dealers getting any better?
yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
it's still only week two. I give them till week 3 or 4 before they're kind of finally comfortable.
yeah, the absolute worst one was on my first day. There was one he didn't, man, poor guy. He did not know what was going on.
Was he really flustered too? I see. I always feel bad when
Yeah,
they
he
like.
just like didn't even talk. He didn't announce any action. He didn't know when he basically didn't know when to put the flop out and stuff. It was just like
It's funny too because we pay so much rake now at these WSOP events. It's like
I know
you need
it's
to invest in some dealers. I understand they give them like a little training or whatever. It's a few hour training or whatever it is, but I you just won't see that kind of stuff at the win. But the logistics of having a tournament with 16,000 people makes it difficult to have that many really good dealers. I get that as
yeah,
well.
of course. And it's not, yeah, everyone's doing their best. I do wish like if you're not someone who has experience as a dealer,
Ask for
I
help.
wish it was people who at least knew poker because there are some people
Yeah,
who
these people
there's
don't
some
even know.
dealers that it's one thing to be a little slow on dealing and whatnot, but it's like, man, if it really sucks if you don't even know the rules of the game.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and when you guys are playing for potentially big dollars, I agree. It's almost unacceptable. So
yeah. Anyways, you know, that
we're
is what it
I
is.
think we'll get through that for the most part. So you ended up bagging 13 million on day two. What happened day three? You ended up just
11.7
or 11.7. You
million.
peaked at 13 million.
Peaked at 13.
Yeah,
Day three, unfortunately, I did not win a single hand for over an hour. I
frustrating
defended
start.
the big blind a couple times. I had one hand that I opened and then folded. It was just slow. So I went down to 5.5 million. I looked down at two black nines in the small blind. Big stack in the low jack opens. I jam. He calls with ace jack. We win a flip and we're right up to 12 million. I'm feeling great. At this point, I've actually already made 4 pay jumps. So we came into day three with 103 left. Uh, the payout was 4,500 something. At this point, it was up to 8770. So I at least made some money. Um, 2 hands later, the low jack opens. He had like 17 big blinds. I look down at ace king offsuit and I have 24 big blinds. And I'm like,
Full send. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just rip it in, you know?
Yeah. 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 I don't think it's
And
necessary to get cute here.
now the same big stack, he's in the big blind now. He asked for a count and he's thinking about it. And I'm
Oh,
like,
you're like, here we go.
yeah, and I'm like, I hope this is a genuine tank and not like aces just, you
Trying
know,
to induce action from the guy who opened. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. He had jacks. He called, he had jacks, and we lost a huge flip there. So that was
Damn, that would have been
disappointing.
a 25 plus million, 27 million chip pot or something.
Yeah, right in that
Oh,
range.
oh, oh.
Imagine.
Yeah,
At, at
that's a lot of
12
chips,
million
dude.
was roughly the average stack at that point.
So you'd have been near double average or over double
Yeah, so
average.
I would have had heaps. Oh, I would have been just in great shape to make another
As I
huge
said
tour.
via text, like you're just priming yourself, baby. We got, I still fully expect to see a bracelet on your wrist here by the end of the summer.
I do too.
And I guess, it sounds like okay, so we're through 2 weeks of the WSOP. You're not buried.
No, no, it's been good.
um,
I'm
yeah,
feeling good.
and right. So there's still hunger there, Some people can be absolutely buried already by this
Yeah,
point. So.
there's oh, the Miz regs are out and about.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't take long. So I love that you texted. We have like this one quintessential Mizreg that we see every year, everywhere we go. I feel like, and we still see him everywhere we go. And you just text me, you're like, guess who I spotted?
Yeah,
uh,
just this guy. He had
the LA Mizreg.
yeah,
It's an ongoing joke at this point. I love it. I know we've even talked about him on the podcast before. So
yeah. It's yeah, so it's good to have that score. Even though I didn't turn it into some like massive score. It's good to obviously get that 8K close to 9K. Just recoup the buy-ins,
yeah, stay
bunch
afloat.
of other buy-ins. Not really anything interesting to talk about from the $800 tournament.
I will say before you move on that you sent one of the most beautiful chip porn pictures I've ever seen. It was
Yeah. Oh
the
man.
13
I
million
had
or
to do
whatever. Oh
yeah.
God, it was just an absolute mountain of chips, and I was just drooling,
Yeah.
salivating, just like, oh
Guys,
my
yeah.
God. You had,
Get in
I
our
mean, it was
Discord just to see that.
yeah, if you're in our Discord and haven't seen it yet, or if you're not in our Discord, great time to plug. Click the link in the description. Join our Discord. We have a tab that's called Chip Porn, where members go and put their absolute massive piles of chips. Wes shared his 13 million in there, and it was a sight to behold. So
Oh, it was beautiful. And then like they were making me rack up the 5Ks so we could color them up. And I'm like, whoa, wait. Like,
let me get this picture.
yeah, no,
It's
it was
funny because
beautiful.
I think the big blind was 4 stacks of red, wasn't it? Wasn't it
Yeah,
400K big
it
blind
was
at that?
300 at that
300,
point.
yeah, so
Yeah.
3 stacks of red.
So yeah,
Just put your
I
big
had a
blind out, put
40.
60 chips out in the middle for for your big blind.
I know.
Uh,
When you get to the point of the tournament where a small blind is 3 starting stacks, you know you're pretty deep.
yeah, 100%. All right. So let's move on.
Yeah. So a couple other thoughts I had. One, this was actually, more so, and this could be an episode topic on its own, but there were multiple hands yesterday in the MSPT where I flopped open-ended straight draws and checked them back both times. And maybe
In
we could talk.
position,
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah.
times when you want. We could talk about times when you want to check your draws, or at least I can explain why I did so in both of these cases. By the way, I made the straight both times, so like,
That's it. Oh, now you wish you were piling chips in. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But no, let's hear about it.
So the first, and actually it was the same guy in the big blind. So I opened 2 9s one time. He defended. We got the Jack 10-8 flop,
Okay.
and
He
the
defended.
yeah,
You
he
said
defended. So
okay.
he checked, and I checked back. And the reason, it's easy to say, oh, I have a pair and I have an open under. Like I'm not even afraid of getting check raised. And the reason I'm checking back here is like, for one thing, I have a hand with some showdown value.
Yeah, good showdown
Um,
value.
I'm not looking At this
Not
point, I'm
a
not really looking to pile chips in.
Yeah, not a great hand for value, but a good hand with showdown value. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not too worried about like if a king or an ace comes, that hits my range more.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of protected, you know.
I like it.
Um,
Yeah, I think it's fine. I will say that there's a little bit of merit to betting small. And there's also not merit. There's like something to combat that point. But what I'm thinking here is like if you were to see bet this hand and just get called, the good news is that you're choosing the price instead of so you should be able to see the river because he checks the turn, then you can check it back and you get to see both cards with just your C bet size. The
if he
opposite
doesn't check raise.
the if he doesn't check raise, right? The opposite to that is you're avoiding a check raise and then you don't mind calling a turn bet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
and this is yeah. Now if I bet, I force out all the like 6-5 off that he'll defend, and not that he'll necessarily bluff that, but this was the guy who, well, we'll just say he's a maniac. He is
yeah.
kind of a maniac
Yeah.
player. So,
Okay. Oh well, then if
anyways,
that's the case, then yeah, if he's got a higher chance of check raising, then yeah, I like it.
yeah. And anyways, the turn was an ace. Check, check again. Again, no need to bluff the ace because I still have a hand with
Yeah.
showdown.
Oh, it hits your range though, Wes. It hits your check back range. Come on. No, I agree 100%. You have showdown value. No need to turn your hand into a bluff.
Yeah. River was a 7. He bet small. I raised. He folded. Uh, Orbit or two later, I opened
You
ace 7.
raised or you bet?
I raised. He bet. I raised.
Oh, he bet. Oh, okay,
Yep.
gotcha. Okay, I got you. I thought you were
Um,
saying raise in terms, and never mind. Anyways,
yeah.
continue.
No, I got you. Then, yeah, probably 2 orbits later, I opened ace 7 of spades on his big blind. He
Oh, he's
calls.
tired of your shit.
Yeah, he's just steaming. No, I don't think he is. He had plenty of chips. So the flop came 9-8-6, 2 clubs, 1 diamond.
Okay.
And I
Open
think
ender
you would,
one over, no backdoor
yeah,
flush.
yeah. So he checked, and this is the kind of board where he'll just have a ton of stuff that continues.
You nailed it. So this board obviously is going to smash a lot of his big blind defending range in terms whether he has a pair, 2 pair plus. Your hand has again some showdown value with ace high. Plus you have equity with your open ender. I think
Yeah.
yeah, great place to just check back and open ender here.
Yep. So, and again, check, check, turn 5.
Boom.
And then he check folded. So,
Oh, okay. I'm surprised as a clicker, he didn't try to rep that
maybe he just had like
from the big
pocket
blind.
threes or something where he's like,
Yeah.
I could be ahead of ace high, but
Okay.
don't want to put chips in.
Yeah.
Um, Anyways, so that was just a quick thought I had. I'm like, and maybe we can go deeper into it at some point if people want, but there are some good examples of times that we want to just check back draws.
It's
And
nice
I
too
would,
because you
yeah,
actually by checking these back, you under rep your hands. So when you do hit it, a lot of times people are expecting you to c bet those hands, so you might get more value in later streets because of it.
yep,
Single pairs, etc.
totally, totally. The other thought I had, and this is even a bit of self reflection, but so we always say like we always open the same size regardless of our
Right.
hand strength, right? And but then when we're playing post flop, now theoretically, I know the theory side of me is like, yes, we should have a bet size that has like, even if we have a couple bet sizes we use, like there should be bluffs and value in both. But like,
Yeah.
we sometimes look at hands and say like, oh well, we're betting this size to get called, and actually we're not really ever bluffing with this size.
Hmm.
But hopefully our opponent just doesn't know that. And I'm like, you know, there is something to it. Like, we make fun of people. We kind of do. The people who will be like, let's be honest, we give people
Just
some
let it
shit
out
for like, opening 5x with some huge hand pre-flop, and it's like,
under the
well,
gun. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, well, maybe we're doing a version of that post flop. So what's so different about doing that it's the argument between like
I feel like because there's 3 cards out there, we have all of a sudden it just changes it compared to pre-flop in my opinion. Like pre-flop there's 2 cards, so it makes it so much easier to target what their hand could be, whereas post-flop it's not going to be as easy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I guess the way I justify it is like a lot of times post flop, your head's up against one player. So you're
Oh,
actually
yeah.
playing against them. Whereas pre-flop, you're like,
That's a good point.
you can't exploit if there's six
8
people
people
behind
or
you,
whatever,
you're not
yeah.
exploiting all six of them at once, you know?
Or
So,
are you?
I mean, maybe you are,
Opening
but
5 6 of clubs, 5x under the gun. I'm exploiting everybody at that table. Anyways, continue.
um, so yeah, just something I'm not even like a right or wrong type thing, but I know like theory wise, and it works practically like I don't just mean theory and like being a solver and whatnot, but like in practice too, this does work a lot. It's just like you want to have your bet sizes be you, you want it so that people are not able to read into your bet sizes and
Right.
um like for example, you know, I I remember a couple times you hero called me when I overbet jammed and like clubs poker. I don't know, and maybe that was you were like, oh no, I mean you that's always a bluff there, and I'm like, I need to make sure that that's not true, and I need to make sure I'm overbet jamming my value again, especially against Max too, and maybe you know what I mean.
Against me for sure. In a club, specifically in a club's tournament against you.
Yeah,
Like I'm not like you and me have a unique dynamic that is
we
separable from any other opponent that I play against. Like we know each other's games so well, I feel like that you know what I mean? Like
well that okay,
we talk poker so much that we know each other's games so well.
that's actually my point though. Is I'm like, if Max actually knows my game that well, am I like I don't think I'm only over betting as a bluff. In fact, I actually think it's
You can
the
exploit me for that, for sure.
yeah, like I think um if anything, I'm like, I thought I overbet more for value, like too much for value and not enough as a bluff. But maybe, you know, it's probably just easier to stuff 40 sweeps coins in your face on
Yeah.
club, you know, as a bluff.
Yeah. It's
But
funnier too. Like there's that entertainment value of doing
yeah,
and me
but
just calling off like jack high where you have queen high or something.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. No,
Oh,
trust me, like it's fun and stuff. But I actually did think about that a lot. I'm like, I need to make sure that this isn't actually a thing he's reading into. Not for the sake of our games on clubs, but I'm like, I need to make sure that you know, when I play like high stakes cash online, it's like, are any of those guys reading into this stuff? Like,
I feel like they are reading into it, but not at the depth of someone like you and me who's talked openly for so long about it. Like they have a much more limited information than someone like you that I would have because of how many showdowns they've seen versus how I've seen you play and think through every street of every hand. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think
it does. It also like it would genuinely surprise me if your impression was that my overbets were like weighted towards bluffs too much.
I
But
don't think that's so. Here's the thing: is I know you're capable of balancing that immediately.
mhm.
So, in terms of like a club's cash or like a club's meetup game,
It's
I,
more just like a versus you know that like when we're like I'm there's only so much value I can have, but the bluffs are infinite almost. So it's like
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's literally exactly right, dude. It's
that's amazing. Yeah.
okay. Anyways, let's get back on to WSOP.
Yeah. Um anyway, so point being is like I think one thing I'm going to make sure, especially heading into some of these tournaments that are going to have a little bit tougher fields, is like I want to make sure that I'm playing. I'm always thinking about what does my range want to do here, as well as what does this specific hand want to do, and then
I like that. Yeah.
against players that seem quite good, I make the play that my range wants to do more so. Um, and against the clear recreationals, that's when I'll, you know, do more of what my hand wants to do. Although I will say, like, sometimes people will get, if you do what your range wants to do, they will not put you on the hand you have. You know, so amateurs will make big mistakes too when you have just like
I agree. Yep.
when you just have like an overall strategy. Sometimes it can trick them into thinking you have X sort of hand when they don't realize you can have all these different sorts of hands when you
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Um so yeah, just some food for thought there. Um
We're getting into the thick of it now.
yeah.
The thick, the thick of the psych of it.
Yeah. One other realization I had too, I was just looking through some solver stuff last night, some ICM spots. Before the bubble bursts, I realized that I'm 3-bet jamming too much probably. Like yesterday there were 2 3-bet jams, actually 3 3-bet jams, the 2 that I got through and one that I ended up losing the flip to bust out with. Where I think instead of 3-bet jamming, I should be like clicking it up. And there's spots for chip EV where I think it's normal, like under the gun +2 opens. I am in the low jack with 8s and I have 18 bigs and I just shipped it.
Yeah. Okay.
Seems normal. I think I actually want to fold there, like with 18% of the field left or whatever.
In
Technically,
terms of ICM, yeah, I feel like that's a spot that most people aren't going to find a fold.
yep, I totally agree. And then the ace queen suited hand, it was a spot where I think I was low jack again. This time it was the guy to my direct right who opened, and I just ripped ace queen suited for I had 17 bigs.
Yep.
Technically, the play is I want to click it to 4 bigs, and then when he jams, I'm supposed to call it off with
You
ace
are.
queen
Okay.
suited.
Okay.
So it wasn't like any of these
What's the
spots.
difference between that and just jamming it? What do you think that will accomplish?
It allows you to, and maybe I still have the charts up here, but it allows you to mix in some like 3 bets that you can fold.
With some bluffs like ace five off and shit.
Yeah. Here, you know what? That's a good. So I have GTO Wizard up. I'm just going to go back to that exact spot that I was looking at. Um, hmm, I don't know if the positions are going to be exactly correct, but we will be. Oh, shut up. But we can take a look at it and just so people have an idea. So this
Of
will
what
be
the bluff
hijack
hands would
versus
be.
yeah.
Okay. Or
Um,
what what theory says would make for a good bluff.
yeah. And a lot of times it's more to do with the positions.
Mm-hmm.
Like later position, you can just jam more, I think. But early position, when someone opens early position, their range is going to be stronger.
Yep.
And so you want to give yourself like a small 3-bet is going to look very strong. Is I guess the way I would.
I 100% agree. I mean, I've seen you fold kings to small 3 bets or small 4 bets, maybe.
Small. That was a 5-bet.
Oh,
But
was it? It's been a while. But anyways, I understand where you're coming from. I kind of want to play devil's advocate here and say that also at the same time, I'm not sure that taking those bluff spots is worth it. I guess what it can do is change your image a little bit to seem more aggressive, to which then might get you paid in the long run. But I don't know. I don't know if in this spot, if do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if it's worth it to start getting cute, but maybe it is. Maybe it's more. I think that would be more relatable in high stakes environments.
um
I mean,
yeah, I mean, so
speak your
I was
thoughts.
at this point my table was just tough. Like there was maybe one not so
Okay.
good
Well, in
player.
that case, I mean, even if okay, I shouldn't say high stakes environments, but in environments where you're surrounded by a lot of good players.
Yeah. Yeah, so in this case I would say okay, here it is. So like the bluff hands would be I by bluff I just mean hands that we can
3-bet fold.
3-bet fold
Yeah.
would be ace 10 offsuit, ace 9 suited, ace 8 suited, ace 7 suited, king queen off. And these are like I guess and ace 10 no,
It
ace
just
10
wants you to, so from a 2x open, it just wants you to go to or to a 2 big blind open, it wants you to go to 4 bigs
yeah.
on
And
like
so like
17 bigs.
you can profitably and basically what it what it's supposed to accomplish. Now, I don't know if that's always going to be the case, but if you click it up, your opponent is supposed to just fold a decent amount of offsuit stuff like king jack off, ace 10 off, ace 9 off, king 10 off, etc. And then the weak suited kings.
Suited king shit up.
Yeah, which is not how anyone would refer to us because we're the strong suited kings.
That's right.
And like queen 8 suited, jack 9 suited. Here's the thing, and this might be what you're alluding to. And this is assuming that the opener actually has a fairly large stack, which he did. If I click it to four bigs, is he folding that stuff? I don't know.
So if we don't know, like if we're confident, and if we even have a small inclination that he's not going to be folded, we probably shouldn't even be doing it then, right? Is that kind of what we're
That's
alluding to?
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Now you could exploitatively do it with like just aces and kings, right?
Yeah.
Because then you don't want them to fold.
I feel like most people don't study those spots, and then they end up justifying calling by saying that they're getting the right odds.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is like I want to think about that more. Like the find and I know I do it occasionally online, but like maybe just become more familiar with what ICM looks like when you're when it's not like, oh, stone bubble, but you're getting kind of close and you want to maintain the chip because there's the element of maintaining your own chip stack and then the element of putting pressure on your opponents with smaller bets, because if you're first hand of the tournament, if you min click three bet someone, they're folding zero hands as they,
Right.
they shouldn't be folding
Right.
anything.
Right. Right.
So just kind of food for thought.
I like it.
I don't
I
think I
think
made any really bad plays, but
I'm glad that you discussed that. I like getting into the weeds about that kind of stuff, into the thick of it,
mhm,
into the mutts. Well, we're just gonna call it the
absolutely.
mutts, the mozzarella. Um,
All right, so
anyways,
so so you're coming out for the monster stack. Is that what's your plan? Obviously, your plan is to win the whole thing, but like, let's say
yes, sir.
you bust on day two on Sunday because we know
Yeah,
you're gonna bag.
yeah. I'm
What's your
kind of like the
plan?
monster stack one bullet monster. Is that
Yeah.
redundant? Maybe, but yeah, I have a nice track record with the monster stack. I think I've cashed it every time I played it. I
Mhm.
have cashed it every time I played it. Um, I don't know if that's 4 or 5 times, 6 times. I'm not sure, but anyways, what's my plan if I were to bust that? Honestly, I don't have a plan because I'm not busting it. That's as simple
Attaboy.
as that. No, I just like my primary tournament, starting off tournaments that, and then once I'm gonna be flexible. Once I finish that tournament, whatever the result may be, I will then build a new plan from there. I really don't have too much of a plan. What do we got during that week? Again, is there anything going on? Anything else that's good? I think there's a freeze out, maybe a 1500 freeze out later in the week that I might play.
There is on the 17th. So on Tuesday, there's the 1500 freeze out. And then the next day on Wednesday is day 1A of the Millie Maker. I
How
don't know if
much?
you'll
I'm not going to be sticking around for the Millie Maker. I got to get back and finish some work up. But what did you say the freeze out buy-in was?
1500.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. 1500 freeze out, like peer. That's a peer poker tournament right there. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I will say that one thing I will for sure be doing out there is dipping into some main event qualifiers, trying to get into the
Yeah,
main
there
for
you
cheap.
go.
Um, that's probably goal number one, win the monster. Goal number two, Sadie into the main. Goal number three, figure that out after we do both goal one and two.
Yeah. And then, if you're not in on Monday, like there's obviously tournaments everywhere. So
Right, and
you'll
that's
find
exactly, yeah.
something.
Whether it's there's I'll be playing. That's for sure. You will see me playing every day while I'm out there.
Mhm.
So whatever that looks like after the monster's over, it's to be determined. But we're gonna go out and fire, and just really looking forward to it. I will be staying on the strip this time, which I'm looking forward to. Just I love getting to stay at an Airbnb all summer with the boys and just kind of having that environment. However, being only out here a week, I get tired of taking Ubers back and forth out of the strip. it gets really exhausting and expensive. I just busted a
That's
tournament.
right. You didn't have a car
Yeah,
last.
then I gotta pay $25 to listen to some Uber driver speak for 20 try and start up a conversation for 20 25 minutes, and I'm just like when I get into Ubers, I've learned quickly that if I put my headphones in and just kind of dial into my phones, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm feeling conversational and I'll you know talk with them, but anyways,
Mhm.
sometimes I'm just not in the mood to talk either, right? So especially after busting a tournament.
Yeah.
Anyways, looking forward to that and going out there with my boy Gagne, and we're just gonna fire away. Shout out to
Nice.
Dave also, who
So which hotel
got
are you staying on?
staying at. I believe we're staying at Harrah's. I think, if
Okay.
I
So you're
remember
right there
correctly.
pretty much.
Yeah, we're right in the mix, and besides playing poker, one of the other things that I look forward to most about the WSOP is not the WSOP specifically, but being in Vegas during the WSOP is finding some fine dining. I love me a good, delicious, high quality Vegas meal. Um,
Yeah.
I will say I was heavily disappointed the last time I was out there. My favorite restaurant out there was Mastro's in the Aria Mall. That place was incredible. My wife came out to visit last year. We went there. It had a pretty bad experience in terms of quality and service, not just one or the other. So that went pretty far down on the list. Now these off-strip restaurants, there's incredible Thai places, incredible Indian places, incredible sushi places, incredible everything.
I
So
would
I'm,
recommend, I think it's called Bazaar's Meats
mm,
or something.
mm, I haven't heard
Yeah.
of it.
Well, I actually had it before day 2 of the Gladiator run.
Is it like a market or is it like a restaurant?
It's a restaurant. It's really top-notch stuff. Pretty,
Okay.
expensive as you might
I
expect, but
love
we did
that.
a
Yeah.
group thing there a couple years
Was
ago.
that you that last year where we got the tomahawk steaks? Who was that with?
Yeah, we did that.
Oh my God. That was one of the best steaks I've ever had. And they had like
Mhm.
this like jelly you could stick your steak or dip your steak into. It was like a
Oh,
fruit.
was that me that I don't know.
I don't know if that, anyways, don't
I
ignore that
remember
part.
we had a really nice dinner one time.
I think it was you and me anyways. But yeah, we had one of those massive, it was like 60 ounces of steak, including the bone. But it was a tomahawk steak. I think it was like $150 for the steak or something. I don't remember,
Yeah,
but anyways, yeah, just hyped to be it is. It's like a kid approaching Christmas, right? Like
exactly. Oh, yeah.
we'll see if I feel that way when I'm getting ready to leave. Hopefully, hopefully
I hope so. I mean, look, like that's kind of the mentality I'm gonna have here too, because it's like I'm up a few thousand from online, and then live tournaments, I'm basically dead even. So I'm just sort of like, okay, I'm fresh.
yeah, cutting your teeth out there. I love it, and this is we're just chasing bracelets, chasing dreams. Only in poker can you watch all of your friends chase, a shared dream at the same time. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Um, I'm looking forward to being out there, and then other than that, yeah, I think uh, that's all I had. I guess that'll be week 3. So I'm looking forward to us recording while I'm out there
Yep.
and talking about how things are going. Then we'll see how the first few
When we're
days
both,
go.
we'll do a look in before we start our day 4 of the monster stack.
Oh, that would be just so sick. Yeah, get away from my. Remember, we had day 2. We got set day 2 of the monster one time together.
Yeah.
Stay the
Oh,
fuck away.
I played with that guy briefly who busted both of us.
Yeah, yeah. Was he? I think he was like of Indian descent, right?
Yeah, he had some glasses. I don't know. I gave him a piece.
Great.
Yeah, I
He
gave
is
him a piece
hyper
of my
aggressive.
mind.
Was he being aggressive when you played with him?
Uh, he was pretty short. No, I
It's
mean,
funny. I've seen him
this
on
was
streams ever since. So he definitely is a professional who plays a lot.
yeah. Um. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways,
I was with him for like 10 minutes in the
did,
eight
did we
hundreds.
did we cover all the concepts that you were hoping to get through today that you experienced so far in week 2?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there. I had written down a bunch of hands from the Colossus, and we could. I can revisit that list, see if there's anything we should go over. But there wasn't like anything that I thought was like this insanely cool spot. That you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You know
Um.
what I think would be really cool, and I'm just thinking about this. Obviously, as we're playing through the World Series of Poker, we're collecting and writing down hands to talk not only about the podcast, but to each other and our other friends about just to study. But we should take maybe like 3 of each of our favorite hands from our trip this summer and then do an episode called like favorite WSOP hands played, whether they're crazy, just the most
Yeah.
unique and cool hands, and then just do an episode based on that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should go ahead and just kind of wrap this up with some of the quick plugs. I'll go ahead and mention that we have our Patreon page, guys. If you're looking to support the Suited Kings podcast and also improve your game at the same time, we have a Patreon page. You can find a link to that in description. There's two tiers. There's the $5 podcast supporter tier. You pay us $5 a month just to say thank you for the content that we put out for free. Then there's the second tier, which is $15 a month. That's I always forget what the name of it is.
Pro level study tier.
The pro level study tier. Anyways, what that $15 is going to get you is 2 to 3 new videos every week, where you can improve your game at a very cheap price point. And especially if you enjoy learning from Wes and I and the way we teach, going to get a couple of those recorded actually after we finish here. But yeah, it's a great way to improve your game. And that's specifically for Patreon members. It's content geared specifically for you. And a lot of people are in our Discord. We have a Patreon spot on our Discord where you can make suggestions for us to make content, again, geared to you. Now, to follow that up, our Discord, if you're not in there already, it's always popping. It's a great place to improve your game and just make friends with people who love the same game as you. Link in the description for everything that we discuss here. Thirdly, we got some sick merchandise that is also available for you guys. Suited Kings merchandise, collaboration with Tilted Compass. Get in there, stay warm during the WSOP and some of those coolers. How's the temperature been out there?
It's actually been a little bit better. I don't think it's been in the hundreds like there were some days when it was 90, which is
I'm sorry,
cool.
I meant like in the horseshoe rooms and stuff.
Oh, it's fine.
It's cool.
Fine.
Cool.
Yeah. Actually, I would, if anyone hasn't come out here yet, make sure if you're not wearing it, carry a sweatshirt around. Like there's some rooms where it's quite cold.
Preferably a Suited Kings Tilted Compass collaboration hoodie.
Yeah.
By the way, comfortable.
By the way, at the time we're recording this, we have 2 pending giveaways still. There's one that we tweeted yesterday, the hand history, where you have to guess the hand. Still up for grabs. Maybe someone will get that within the day before this comes out. Also, before the World Series started, we had said the first person to come find me while I'm playing in the World Series and post a picture of me in the Discord gets a free hoodie.
I forgot about that.
No one's done that. No one's done it.
All right. I hope this is a great reason to listen all the way through the episode.
You can literally look on the WSOP Plus app and see what table I'm at.
By searching your name? You can just search. Oh,
it's easy.
That's awesome. If I want to find my friends, I didn't know that was a feature. So that's pretty sick. All right. So that's awesome. Go find a picture of Wes, take a picture of him while he's playing, put it in the Discord, tag both of us so that we see it. First person to do that, hoodie your way. There's so many colors, so many sizes, so much sweet gear. Just go ahead and make sure to pick up some of that merch. We love it, and we appreciate that, supporting the pod. So make sure to get that stuff. And then, I think obviously clubs poker. We're not doing our meetup games while Vegas is going. Wes can't play while he's in Vegas. It's not allowed to play.
Honestly, like several of our normal regs are out. Unfortunately, they are not available in Nevada. So
things are a little slow while Vegas is happening, but that's okay. We'll be back in full force as the WSOP wraps up with our meetup games. Can't wait to get back in that. We should actually have a mixed game meetup game eventually.
We should do that.
I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, and then potentially, lastly, we may have a Suited Kings meetup while in Vegas. It's going to be impromptu or on. We're gonna if we do it
while you rail me at the Monster Sack final table.
I feel like you could have worded that differently, but
okay.
Anyways, I'll reach out in Discord if anyone's in Vegas, we might have a little night where we go and have a beer or something. So can't wait to be out there in Vegas with you, Wes, and railing you at the Monster finals. I hate myself. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. I hope you guys have a great night, great day, great morning, great coffee, great beer, margaritas, whatever it is you're doing. But until next time, we'll see you next week in Vegas.